Hey ladies, it's Ariane, and I am here with my 31-week update. I'm 31 weeks and 6 days today, and I have a lot to go over, so I'm going to talk really not fast. I'm going to try to think fast so that I can talk clearly and just have my thoughts out there. I don't even have a lot of notes because most of what happened is just kind of off the top of my head. But last Saturday, I think it was Saturday, might have been Friday, I started having a lot of Braxton Hicks contractions that were strong, and not strong as much as they were actually probably more regular. I was noticing them, they were regular, they were happening quite often. I try not to make a big deal about it. I kind of ignored it. And, and if you see a beautiful random thing here, I'll talk about that later, so if you can't stop looking at that, I'll explain. And if you hear wind, I'm like seriously in the wind zone. It's been so windy here, crazy windy. Anyway, so I was having contractions, and they lasted for about a day, just off and on Braxton Hicks contractions, and then they started to get stronger, and they started to feel like they were more labor contractions. Not at all as painful as labor contractions, but there was like a low pressure, like the contraction went down into my pelvis and like against my cervix, and it felt like there was pressure going on with this contraction, and that I knew that was not normal, and it kind of made me nervous. I was really kind of scared, but I didn't really want to make a big deal out of it. I've never had contractions during any like this. I've never had scary contractions at any point during pregnancy, and definitely not at 31 weeks. And so finally at night, after about a day and a half, I finally called and left a message with my midwife, or not left a message, I talked to her. And she said, you know, try to rest, drink a lot of water, take some magnesium and calcium. Then she said, you know, just try to rest, basically. And I said, when do you want me to call you if they get worse? And she said, call me in the morning. And so that night they just kept coming, and I went to bed, and I was laying in bed trying to fall asleep, and as I rested, the contractions kind of went away, and so I was really happy about that. But then I started noticing that my heart was like pounding really erratically in my chest. It was really loud. I think that it was probably pretty fast, and it was obnoxious. It was kind of bugging me. I was trying to fall asleep, and like my heartbeat would beat really loud and really fast, and all of a sudden it would like skip a heartbeat, and then it would like boom back in my chest and like catch up again, and it was making me feel really tired and really weak. And so that really kind of made me, I was laying in bed going, oh dear, what's going on with my heart now? Like, am I gonna have a heart attack? It was, I don't know. And then I was like, is this why I'm having contractions, or are the contractions affecting my heart? And so going back into my history a little bit about my heart, I've never had any heart issues. Like, I've never had anything looked at. I've never had any EKG. Never been diagnosed or had any issues, but there were a few times years and years ago, well, it started years and years ago, where I would go to donate blood, and they would, as they were checking my pulse, they would tell me I couldn't because I would skip a heartbeat, and they would deny me donating blood. So I knew that like I kind of had an irregular heartbeat, but you know, didn't think much about it. Well, recently my older sister, who she's had her 4 kids now, and she has developed, well, she did develop atrial fibrillation, which is an uneven heart rhythm, and that got really bad, and she had to go in a lot for that. And then it ended up turning worse. It got worse. It turned into a accelerated conjunctional rhythm, I think is what it's called, which is pretty rare. and AFib doesn't usually turn into that, and so she's been dealing with that. She's actually been on a heart monitor for the last 30 days, and she's 35 years old, and it's looking like she's going to have a pacemaker. And so knowing that this has been going on with her, I kind of started to get worried as I was like paying attention to my heart rate and all this funkiness, that I told my midwife the next morning. I said, you know, good news, contractions have actually stopped. Like, I was praying really, really hard that the contractions would stop. But I told her what was going on with my heart, and I told her about my sister's history. And another thing that was going on was that whole night, poor little baby Evelyn was, I think she was pretty stressed, because I think she was awake most of the night, and she was moving a lot and thrashing a lot, and I think that the contractions, even if momentarily, pushed her lower in my pelvis. And I think her head, there was probably more pressure on her head, because all night I could feel her head. She was just kind of moving and like almost like she was uncomfortable, and that kind of made me nervous. But she did calm down to the next day, but I think she was awake all night long. I don't think she slept. Anyway, and so my midwife was a little concerned about that. She knows a lot about medical stuff, and so she gave me a referral to a heart doctor, like an actual heart doctor. So the other day, no more contractions. Luckily, I think I've been 3 days with no more contractions. So whatever that was, I'm hoping it's gone. But I have been paying a lot more attention to my heart, and I'm noticing a lot more that, like, as I've been looking into symptoms and talking to my sister, I think that might explain why I'm so tired, is my heart is just not pumping the way that it should. So I went in yesterday and I saw a heart doctor, and they hooked me up to an EKG, and they checked everything, and all that he was able to tell was that I did have random fast heartbeats, to where it would go beat, you know, pump, pump, and then it would pause, and then the next one would come back stronger. And he acknowledged that. He looked at my sister's chart, because my sister goes to the same place, and so basically he put me on a, he didn't necessarily, isn't convinced that that weird heartbeat is bad. A lot of people have it, I guess, and a lot of people have it when they're pregnant. But I assured him this is something that I actually could tell would happen even when I wasn't pregnant. So I know that if anything, it might be worse during pregnancy, but it doesn't. Pregnancy isn't the cause of it, if that makes sense. So anyway, so now I am on a heart monitor. I have to wear this thing for 30 days, and this is the strap that goes down to this thing. And basically it's like an EKG. I have 4 little, what are they called? I don't know, 4 little points that have to stick to my body, 1 here and then like 3 down here on my left side. I have to wear it for 3 days, like night and day. There's a little like phone Bluetooth piece that I have to keep close by me, and it's going to monitor everything that my heart's doing for the next 30 days. So that's what this is. So it's been a very interesting week. Really glad. I'm feeling really good about the contractions being gone. I think that worry is past so far. I don't know why they started. I don't know anything. It was weird. That's never happened to me before. One thing that I have noticed was the very next day after I was having all the contractions, so the next day when I didn't have contractions, I was extremely hungry. I would eat breakfast, and then like an hour later, I would have this like hollow feeling in my stomach, and I'd want to eat and eat and eat. And I could eat and eat and eat. I've been eating a lot of peanut butter toast with huge glasses of milk, because it's like a quick, easy meal, and it's semi-healthy, whole wheat toast and peanut butter and milk. And I can eat a lot of it. Like last night for dinner, I think I had 2 pieces of toast with peanut butter and 2 huge glasses of milk. And I've never, even when I very first found out I was pregnant, been able to fit this much in my stomach. I can like eat food like I've never eaten food before. And I'm hungry after I eat food. Like, I will have a meal, and an hour or 2 later, I have this hollow feeling in my stomach like I need to eat, and I want to eat a lot, and I can, and it's getting difficult because I don't want to eat at 10 o'clock at night. I don't want to eat at 3 in the morning when I get up to pee. I don't want to spend all my time eating. But I'm hungry. So anyway, that was really bad. It's kind of gotten a little better over the last couple days, but I still, when I get hungry, I have this hollow. I think that she just moved positions somehow. I don't know what happened, but somehow maybe I thought that she kind of got a little lower in my stomach. My midwife didn't think she was too low, but I feel like maybe she went a little lower in my stomach and kind of cleared up some room. Sorry, she went a little lower in my pelvis, so it cleared up some room in my stomach. But even when I was like a couple weeks pregnant, I didn't feel, I wasn't able to eat this much. So anyway, that was my fun week. So kind of crazy. I don't know what else to say in the way of symptoms, because those are really the only symptoms that I've been paying attention to. I've had just a lot of stuff going on with the holidays and Christmas, and I've got gift wrapping stuff out now, and my house is a mess. But I will show you my belly, and I will show you one of the little monitor thingamadingies. So anyway, so here I am at 31 and a half weeks. I will go ahead and I will show you my belly. So, oh, okay, so I guess I have more than I thought I had. I forgot about this one. So I have these two here, and then I have, I think that's right, I have 4. 2 here and then 2 up here. So, yeah, and this just has to go around my neck. And the other thing that the doctor said was, he said he wanted to see me 2 months after I have the baby, just to see what my heart's doing when I'm not pregnant. But my midwife was very positive because she said, even though obviously you don't want to have a baby at 31 weeks or 32 weeks or whatever, she said this is actually, there's a very, very good chance, almost a positive chance, that her long-term effect of health will be like none. Like, she won't have any long-term effects. Yes, she would have to be, you know, in the NICU for a month, which obviously no mother wants, but that after that she would be just like any other baby, which was really comforting to know. Obviously I don't want that to happen, but it's nice to know that her health long-term wouldn't necessarily be affected. So, but she's doing good now. She's been happy and healthy, and I've been really excited. Being in my 30s, I'm almost 32 weeks, and almost December, and we're getting into the countdown. We're at 8 weeks right now, close to 8 weeks. So anyway, I think that's it. I have no clue where I'm at on time, so I'm gonna let you go, but we're doing good here, and this is going to be really fun. I just got this monitor today, so I get to learn to live with it. So anyway, okay, thanks ladies. I'll see you next week. Bye.